What's going on, guys? I'm Tyler. We got Hunter. We are your hosts of the Any Given Sunday podcast. We do want to thank y'all for tuning in again. Episode 2. What are we talking about today, Hunter?
Today in the NFL, we have best chance at repeating success. I got high value free agents that still need a team, ranking the AFC North, ranking the Boys Dynasty League. This one's going to be very interesting. We
Don't
got
be
bucket
salty.
list. Yeah, don't be salty. Do not be salty. We got bucket list stadiums that every big football fan should have on their bucket list. We're going to transition to some NBA. Not much on that. We are going to talk about WEMBY. Then we're going to go to some UFC. We have some UFC 290 recap. We're going to touch on UFC 291 and the Hall of Fame introductions, and we might talk about some John Jones.
John Jones. All right,
The
so Hunter, where do we
man.
want to where do we want to start? We want to start with the NFL. We want to start with
Yeah,
what?
I think we're gonna start with probably start with NFL. We're gonna go head into best chance at repeating success this year.
Okay. You want to lead it off, or you want me to? I mean,
Uh,
it's gonna be a fun one.
yeah, I'll let you go ahead lead this one off.
Awesome. All right, so best chance at repeating success. These are teams that were, let's just say, playoff teams, right? I mean, I have a team I've already thought of that is they weren't like third round, they weren't AFC Championship, NFC Championship, anything like that. So I'm gonna start it off. We're gonna start out. Obviously, we're gonna go with the easiest choice. We're gonna go with the Cincinnati Bengals. Uh, there's not much to be said there. The defense is probably gonna be solid again. You got Joe Burrow slinging that thing, T.
Mm,
Higgins, Jamar Chase. They have Irv Smith at
Mahomes
tight end.
who?
Yeah, who is Mahomes?
I don't know either.
But yeah, I got Bengals. They're a pretty easy answer. This is our new Peyton Manning, Tom Brady kind of thing we got in our generation now, or this generation rather than. So yeah, we got Mahomes, Burrow, maybe Josh Allen. I'm not sure yet. He hasn't won anything. So yeah, I got the Bengals. That's my first team of repeating success. So
Okay,
go
okay.
ahead and let you go. Go ahead.
So you named all your teams that.
Nah, I just named one. I can
Okay,
name
we're
them
we're
all if
going.
you want.
No. I think one back and forth is good. So I think what we did, we kind of, we have our obvious teams, and I think we might have picked some, some other teams that are gonna also have repeating success. Because my first team is the Chiefs. I mean, Mahomes, they did lose, a good offensive tackle in the off season, but I didn't know this. They signed Jawan Taylor, so that's going to fill a gap. They lost two O tackles actually, but in the second round, I believe it was, they did draft an O tackle, so they should be pretty solid there as long as everything pans out good. Their defense has always been a problem. They spent 3 of their first 4 picks on defense. So I have pretty high like hope that they're gonna do some repeat action.
And I mean, Mahomes is kind of like the LeBron or
Yeah.
Kobe, whatever you want to call it, of the league right now. Like
Yeah.
you expect him to be competing every year for a championship.
Like they went, that whole division went and got defense, like stacked crazy defense, and then Mahomes went and won a ring with Juju. So
Yeah,
yep, he
Kadarius
did.
Tony.
Yep, he did that.
All right, so I'll go ahead. We're gonna go with an NFC team now. Pretty obvious. The expectations are just always gonna be high, no matter who. And I'm sure this hint right here is gonna give some of y'all, definitely Hunter, a idea of who I'm gonna go with. It doesn't matter who's playing quarterback for this team. You expect them to be competing every year for a
I
championship.
already know who you're talking about.
Even if they're not in the Super Bowl, you know. So that's the San Francisco 49ers,
There we
Kyle
go.
Shanahan running the thing over there.
Me at
Defense is
quarterback.
always good. Defense is always good.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't care if Trey Lance is at quarterback, Sam Darnold, doesn't matter to me. I expect them, they're gonna be a playoff team. They're gonna have a chance to go fight probably for a Super Bowl if I had to guess. I mean, I'm not gonna say they're going to the Super Bowl, but they're definitely a team that's gonna be there at the end fighting for a chance to go to the Super Bowl. So
Mm-hmm.
that's my common sense NFC team. So I'll go ahead and let you go again, and then yeah, we'll just keep it pushing.
All right. So my second team, this is kind of I mean, they're gonna have obviously repeat success because I have them going a lot further than they went last year. So we'll say exceeding success. I have the Lions. Last year, their defense started a little slow. They were probably middle of the pack run defense. They allowed 5 yards per carry. So they went and they drafted a middle linebacker out of Iowa. And from everything I saw, he looks like a dog. So that should be awesome. Lost their tight end. Lost. They traded him. So obviously they had expectations. They went and drafted a tight end. They bolstered the defense. You have Jared Goff at quarterback. I think, Hooker might give him a little run for his money in training camp. We'll see. I feel like he's a little bit more mobile, so we'll see how that goes. I definitely have them exceeding definitely what they did last year. They had this is how I see it. Like they know their chance they have right now. DeAndre Swift, great running back. They went and moved him and drafted, someone they think is going to stay more healthy because they know they're about to go on a run.
David Montgomery.
Yes, David Montgomery. Shout out fantasy owners.
If you know, you know. So, are we done with the Lions here?
Yeah. I'm done right there.
All right. I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to go with another NFC team. Probably America's most hated team, if we're being honest. It's the Dallas Cowboys. Nothing. We're talking about repeating success. I just feel like there's no reason they shouldn't be competing for a Super Bowl this year. Honestly, outside of Philly and San Fran, there's no team, to me at least, that should really give them problems in the postseason. There's no, but of course that's right now. Like you never know. Like good coaching, all that, good scheming, like all that could change anything. But I just feel like Dallas, there's no reason they shouldn't be, again, just like last year, competing for a chance to go to the Super Bowl. Yeah, they lost Zeke, but it's not like Zeke was doing much.
We'll see if they lost Zeke.
We'll see.
We'll find out.
We'll see if Pollard is healthy. If Pollard's healthy, if Pollard can stay healthy, if the team can stay healthy, there's no reason they shouldn't be competing for Super Bowl.
Malik Davis, bro.
I think they're an NFC Championship team, but we'll see. We'll get into those kind of predictions later. Yeah, that's my other NFC team for repeating success. There's no reason Dallas shouldn't be in the playoffs again.
Okay. My next repeating success team, or more like exceeding success or exceeding what they did last year, barring, health issues. Miami Dolphins, great receiving core. One of their problems is the run game. They went and they drafted a running back, so they have. They have deep potential at running back, from their new running back all the way down to Myles Gaskin. They can all receive. They can all run. I think it'll be a very fun backfield to watch this year. Tua, obviously, need him to stay healthy. So this is what I was talking about earlier. I thought they had a really good secondary last year. Their secondary stat-wise was terrible. So what they do?
Giving up yards.
Yeah, probably giving up yards because the fifth string quarterback was in. They went and got they went and got Jalen Ramsey, so that should clear up some of the problems right there. So I have, last week we talked about it. We have Miami winning the division, so obviously we have them repeating some success.
All right. And, I contemplated putting the Dolphins in here myself. I'm pretty glad that we put different teams, I believe, for everything. Did you name both NFCs already? I'm sorry.
I actually have. I just had one. I have one more,
okay.
But I had 3 AFC teams.
Yeah. All right. So for my other one, I went with the Jacksonville Jaguars.
Okay.
Trevor Lawrence, I feel like he showed at the end of the season in the playoff run that he's ready to take that next step.
You really think that, though?
Absolutely. He was putting on for them. They lost to the Chiefs, obviously, but he gave it his all. So I got Jacksonville. I think, not going to give any predictions on that division, on who I think is going to win it, but I can give you all a hint. Tennessee, I mean, I don't think Tannehill is going to make it through the whole year. I think Will Levis is going to take over at
I do
some
too. I
point,
do too.
and I do think Traylon Burks can take the next step. So as long as the Jags don't suck, I mean, that's the only team, in my opinion, that's really going to give them problems. Uh, I feel like if Jacksonville can just go 5-1 in that division, I mean, their division to lose. I mean, I'm not really worried about the Colts or Texans. So I think the Jags are gonna repeat success. I feel like they just don't have many obstacles in their way of achieving that. So
It's kind of a crazy take.
yeah, well,
Yeah. My last team is the Jacksonville Jaguars. No,
well,
I definitely agree with that. I think that Trevor's going to take that next step. He has his, you got Calvin
Calvin
Ridley
Ridley.
coming back. That defense, young, so they have a lot to learn, but I think they're going to pick it up and take it to the next level this year. And like you said, there's not a lot. I mean, Derrick Henry, I mean, is that the only thing holding Jacksonville out of a playoff chance? Or
It,
well, yeah, pretty much a playoff chance.
Is Derrick Henry even gonna make it through the year?
Who
Like, I mean,
knows?
I know he hasn't shown signs of that, but he's older. Like, let's face
Yeah,
it, he's got a
Father
lot of wear and
Time
tear because he's
is
just such a
undefeated.
big target,
Physical, physical back, big guy,
And,
taking hits.
and also on the Jacksonville defense, let's talk about the number one pick from last year. I mean, who Trayvon Walker. I mean, they had back to back number one picks.
Hmm.
So right? I mean, I don't know. I just feel like there's not a lot of obstacles. I think CJ Stroud and Anthony Richardson might take some time to get there, and I think maybe by the end of
Definitely.
the year, one of them, if not both, will figure it out. But
I
it's
just
going to be a
think,
rough start.
yeah, like I mean, obviously we're gonna go with the vet quarterback. That's not Ryan Tannehill because he's probably gonna get replaced. Or he might not. I mean, regardless, the Titans team is in shambles receiving wise. I mean,
Got
Traylon
Traylon
Burks is not
Burks.
terrible,
We got
but
to see if he
he's
can
got to
take
have a
that
guy
next
that's going to
step.
help him take that step. But yeah, that's my four teams: the Chiefs, Miami, Jacksonville, and the Lions.
And then I had Bengals, Jags, 49ers, and Cowboys. So I think we'll see. I mean, maybe we'll come back to this in the year and be like, wow, we were dead wrong about that one. But
Yeah.
all signs point towards these teams. I mean, if the Lions make the playoffs, that's repeating success.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, all they have to do is make playoffs.
Yep.
So yeah, but let's go ahead and let's move on. We're gonna move on. Let's talk some free agency. We got some notable free agents still on the market here.
We do. We
Uh,
do.
we got Dalvin Cook, Leonard Fournette, Ezekiel Elliott, and DeAndre Hopkins.
Mm-hmm.
So the question I have for you, Hunter, is where do we think these guys are going to end up? I mean, there's plenty of options for some of these guys.
There is. There is. So I kind of went through and I put 2 to 3 teams on each person. It's kind of hard to narrow it down. I think there's a lot of good fits for some of these guys. So do you want to go like so we'll start with Dalvin. I'll do Dalvin. You'll do Dalvin, and
You can just maybe you can go ahead and just
bang
do
all of them
whatever you want.
out.
Yeah, bang all of them out.
All right.
Yeah.
So I got Dalvin. I'm gonna start off with Dalvin Cook. I think the three, like something's telling me he's bound for the AFC, right? We've heard Dolphins, we've heard Jets. Obviously, I have those 2 teams down as a solid landing spot for him. So I was like, I kind of want to throw a third in there that kind of makes sense. And that being the Broncos. We don't know how long Javante's still going to be out. They have P Ryan, who I mean, he had good flashes last year. Still, I think, I mean, you need another guy back there to run the rock for you, and I think Dalvin Cook might be him. Um,
Wouldn't be a bad option for sure.
yeah, no. I'll let you go ahead. Yeah, we'll just go. I did Dalvin. I'll let you go ahead and do your Dalvin thoughts.
All right, so for Dalvin Cook, I mean, I went with the easy answer. I just went with the Jets. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
after Brees Hall, I mean, I just feel like if you look at the Aaron Rodgers Packers teams with AJ Dillon and Aaron Jones, I feel like they're gonna maybe use kind of the same thing with Brees Hall being more of the Aaron Jones receiving the ball, catching the ball,
Yeah.
And then I got Dalvin Cook definitely an upgrade from AJ Dillon despite the age. I mean, he's only like 27, 28. I mean, he's not 30 yet, you know. So I feel like that's a pretty solid 1-2 punch. And yeah, I got him going to the Jets. It just makes the most sense. I guess it's really going to come down to, you know, I don't know if they're going to offer Dalvin the money he, but we'll see. I mean, if Dalvin wants to play bad enough,
Yeah.
I think the Jets. I feel like it's the easy answer.
Like Dalvin wants some jewelry. That's what I'm
Yeah.
thinking.
And I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna go ahead and hit Fournette and Zeke.
Okay.
I don't have landing spots for these guys. I think these guys are gonna be in season signings or preseason signings if someone gets hurt. I
Mm-hmm.
just don't. It's gonna take an injury, I think, for definitely Zeke to get signed somewhere. I feel like he would have already been
Ooh.
signed if
Ooh.
he's the fall off is definitely, you can see it every
Yeah.
year. It keeps getting worse and worse. And at first I didn't want to believe it either, but yeah, I think both of those guys are going to be in season signing when an
Okay.
injury
Okay.
happens, or even preseason. You know, preseason's when, you know, if you draft too early, your favorite running back towards ACL. So
Mm-hmm.
yeah, we'll see what happens.
I think so I'll hit Zeke and Fournette too. Zeke, I think I think he's been talking with the Cowboys, and I think they're gonna bring him back, you know, right when things are about to get, super serious. Like right now, what the training camp starts in.
Starts I don't know about every team, but I know rookies come like July 20th for some teams, and the vets come the 25th.
Okay, well, I
I don't know
think
that's every
right
team though.
before the vets come, they're gonna re-sign Zeke.
We'll
Um,
see. I mean, it doesn't hurt if
I
he'll.
think he's gonna take a pay cut.
Yeah,
Obviously,
exactly.
has to take a pay cut.
I was about to say he doesn't have a
Um,
choice.
and I mean, that the 1-2 punch they had just worked. Like they're gonna run Zeke into the ground, they're gonna have him run through the trenches more, and they're gonna have Pollard come out and do his thing. Another team I could see him going to. This might be a stretch. Thought it was a pretty fun team to put up there. My camera would quit focusing. There we go. Um, the Bengals. I know he was kind of linked to them, saying that was one of his landing spots. We don't know what's happening with Mixon. People think he might get cut. I mentioned that last time. I was like, I mean, there's some good free agents. If he doesn't take a pay cut, they could cut him. Now, I don't think they would cut him for Zeke. I think they would cut him for like maybe Cook, but like I said, I have Cook, to the Jets or like Dolphins. But I could see him on the Bengals as a good second down back. They lost Piron. They don't know like how the rookie's gonna do. Um, yeah, that's my Zeke thoughts. Cowboys or Bengals, and we have Fournette. I think Fournette stays a free agent. I mean, bro, if my camera doesn't quit focusing, stop. There we go. Fournette, I think he stays a free agent. Two teams I could see him maybe going to is like a big red zone guy is maybe the Rams or maybe the Cardinals.
You
Those
know,
are the
I was
two
thinking, what about Buffalo? I know they have James Cook, but and they have Damian Harris,
they
but
do.
Damian Harris struggles to stay healthy. So what if,
True.
again, in season signing, what if they brought Fournette in?
When have they ever used a huge back though?
I mean, it could be more so like protecting Josh Allen, right? You don't want him to take all the hits. He ended up
True.
injuring his arm. Like, at least that's what they say. I mean, he hasn't got surgery or anything, as we talked about,
Well,
but
that would be two grown men in that backfield. Those are
that's
some
kind of
big dudes.
terrifying.
Those are some big dudes.
Yeah, yep.
So yeah, last one. I'll let you start it off. D Hop.
We got D Hop. We got D Hop. All right, so before he was released, he, for whatever reason, released the top 5 teams he would like to go to. I
Awful
can't think of
idea.
them all. Chiefs, Buffalo, what, Cincinnati maybe? I don't know.
all
Ravens was
team,
one.
all teams
Chargers.
with terrible cap space, and
Yeah.
he wants a bag.
But since he's gotten released and we haven't seen a lot of traction with him visiting those top teams, we've only seen him visit, I think, with New England and Tennessee. Uh So if I had to guess right now, I mean, the team that's going to probably pay him more money and he's going to want to play for, I would think would be Tennessee. Why not? He could help Burks take that next step. Uh, I just feel like that's probably the favorite right now, just because he hasn't even visited the other teams.
Mm-hmm.
If I had to guess right now, Tennessee. But I mean, because personally, I wouldn't want to go play with Mac Jones, but that's
No.
just me. So I got Tennessee.
I mean,
I
but do you want to
think
go play with Ryan Tannehill?
I don't think Tannehill's going to make it through the year. I think Will Levis
Yeah.
is going to end up taking over at some point. So fantasy guys, dynasty guys, whatever, definitely. If you can get him at a fair deal, I would definitely say go get Will Levis. I think again he's going to take over at some point. So yeah.
I respect it. I respect it. Um, my D Hop landing spots. This was a harder one for me because I'm not gonna lie, I didn't go into everyone's cap space. So these could potentially just not happen because cap. I wish he would D Hop just go get a ring, bro. That's all you need. Just a ring. I guess you don't need a
Yep.
ring. You're probably in the Hall of Fame regardless. But I'm gonna start it off Detroit.
Okay.
I think, you know, if you put him next to Amon Ra, I mean, that's just Detroit's to the point where like the more depth, the deeper you're gonna go, and that I mean that just makes sense to me. Get a veteran guy in that receiving room, especially like anyone Amon Ra can learn from. That dude's gonna be a monster.
He already
Um,
shown he will.
yeah, absolutely. And then the other team I have is KC. I mean, they got guys over there, but like you know,
They don't
Carter,
have grown
yeah,
men.
yeah, they don't have grown men. Tony has never like he has not proven to be a healthy guy. Who else? My boy, what's his name? That's not good when you can't just off top name the
Sky Moore,
receiver.
maybe Sky Moore,
No,
Rasheed Rice. I
my
mean,
guy that I started against you in the
too soon.
fantasy.
Too soon.
Oh,
Too
okay.
soon.
My bad.
Who was it though? Oh, you know what? No, I don't know.
Richie
I don't know.
James.
He's on the Chiefs?
Yes. Richie
What?
James. Yeah.
Is it, I thought he was a rookie.
No.
Wow, I'm lost. I didn't know who
Yeah.
he was till he spanked
Yeah.
me in the playoffs of fantasy. So
Yeah.
my fault. My fault.
Richie James has also never proven to stay healthy. So if those two guys go down, Sky Moore is coming out
The
2,000
Kansas City
yards this
Giants.
season. Yeah. So I think it just makes sense for D Hop to want to go to KC. So
Fair
yeah,
enough.
that's my landing spots for some top free agents.
All right. All right. What do we have next? What are we gonna? We're just gonna keep
Yeah,
hopping right
we're
into
gonna just keep
things.
rolling through it. We are gonna be ranking the AFC North.
My team's in that division, so
Oh yeah,
yep.
it took me a minute. I'll let you start this one off.
All right.
We're gonna start from
And
4.
yeah. Okay. Number 4. I'm gonna have to go with my team, the Ravens. I'm not a fan of. I. It's Lamar Jackson is such a love hate relationship for me.
Mm-hmm.
He was so good his MVP year. He started out the next year really good as well. Then he got hurt, missed the second half of the season. We ended up falling off, not making playoffs.
Mm-hmm.
Last year, solid player, got hurt second half of the year, missed. We made playoffs, but he didn't play.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I feel like he has solid weapons around him, but I feel like every other team in the division has solid defense just like we do. But I think they have. I don't know, man. I really don't know. I'm gonna go ahead. I'll name number 3 as well, just so you kind of get an idea where my head. I put Pittsburgh at 3. I
Okay.
think. I just think. I think. I don't know. I don't know. Maybe it's time for a coach change for the Ravens. I don't. I really don't know. I love Harbaugh. You know, got us a Super Bowl 11 years ago, but
Mm-hmm.
that was 11 years ago. The NFL has changed.
Definitely.
I just think we need a change, and I think a head coach will go before Lamar goes.
Yeah.
So I feel like Pittsburgh has the better coach. They have just as good of a defense, if not better. You know, Minka Fitzpatrick, T.J. Watt. You know, I don't know. I
Good
just
defense. Good defense.
I feel like they have more things working in their favor. So I got Pittsburgh ahead of Baltimore. I got Baltimore at 4.
All right. I mean, so you said you had Ravens 4, Steelers 3.
Yep.
All right, so my 4 is the Browns. Yo, what is up? What is up? What is up, chat? So I had the Browns at 4. So this one took me a minute.
It's a tough division.
I did some research on this one. I'm not gonna lie, it took me a minute. Because the teams are good. They're just all good. They all bring their own things to the table. Like my 1, 2, and 3. Well, actually, I mean so 2 and 3 are like it was hard for me to determine between. 4 was kind of easy for me. I went with the Browns.
That's fair.
Watson hasn't proven to us anything yet on the Browns. He came back and looked awful last year. That wide receiver core, I was looking at it, is terrible. That wide receiver core is awful. You have Amari Cooper, granted. Man's getting older. You have Elijah Moore and Donovan Peoples-Jones. Jones did take a step last year. He, first 2 seasons, 400 yards, 300 yards. He had 800 yards last year. But when you take that wide receiver core and you put it up against the other wide receiver cores in the division or the other talent on offense in the division, I just don't think it holds up. Their defense is falling off, in my opinion. I didn't look at the defensive stats, but I did go look at the team, gauge my own opinion on it. I mean, it's just not looking great. And then, man, Chubb can't do it all. I mean, his
Right.
fall off is going to happen, and it's probably going to be soon.
And they don't have that 1-2 punch now with Kareem. I mean,
They
Kareem kind of
don't.
seemed like he
Kareem,
fell off too.
I
He could
think
have been.
we forgot to do Kareem Hunt, bro. Free agent.
It's fine. He's in that same
Probably going
threshold.
to stay a free agent,
Fournette
honestly.
and Zeke.
Yeah, I mean, I just think that the Browns are, unfortunately, going back to where they came from, the bottom. I have next, which I thought you were going to rip my head off for, but you had them in 4, the Ravens. I don't think OBJ's that guy. He hasn't proven anything in the last few years. I mean, he had flashes for the Rams and then he got hurt. He's not that locker room guy. He's not. I got some young receivers. I don't think he's going to be a good influence for Zay Flowers. He has some stuff he can teach him, but has Odell, taken that step and has he grown up? Because if he has, he has a lot of knowledge he could pass on to Zay Flowers. Run defense was good. OBJ didn't prove anything with this. Okay, I like that. The run defense, it's going to be good this year. It's been good. You got
what you're getting out of the defense.
Yeah,
Always.
yeah. The defense is going to be good. Now, unfortunately, did lose. What's his name? Calais Campbell. Y'all did lose some good defenders, bro. Calais Campbell
Marcus
and
Peters.
Cornerback.
Marcus
Peters is gone. Y'all replaced him with Rock Ya-Sin, but yeah.
Marcus Peters didn't play last year anyway.
He didn't.
So
he didn't. I just think
he might have played towards the end. I don't remember. But
this is what I put at the end of my notes, and I think it's very valid for the Ravens to outperform my 1 and 2, especially with how good their offenses and defenses are. We're gonna need MVP Lamar back. We're gonna need MVP Lamar, and he's gonna have to do his thing for him to get out of this 3 spot.
Rush for 180 a game.
Jesus. And that's another thing, like everyone wants to believe in Dobbins, and Dobbins does have potential.
If he can stay healthy.
That injury bug, it's real. Yeah. It's there.
We got Mark Andrews, though. We got Mark Andrews. You know what you're getting out of Mark Andrews.
Yep.
All right, so number 2, I had 4 Ravens, 3 Steelers, 2 I went Browns. I like Amari Cooper. I like I like the receiving core. I think Elijah Moore. I think he needed just a different scenery than what they had in New York.
Mm-hmm.
Nick Chubb, Njoku. He was one of my sleeper tight ends last year. He
I
was
do.
solid while Brissett was slinging that thing.
Njoku, I love you, but if you've sold me so much in fantasy, you've sold me so much in fantasy, but I love you so much. I'm sorry.
I traded you while you were worth. I got a first out of you. So, anyways,
Lord
yeah,
have mercy.
yeah. I got the Browns in second. I mean, Miles Garrett. I mean, who was defensive player of the year this last year? Was it Miles Garrett? I want to say it was.
Shit.
No. Yeah, I want to say it. No.
Was
TJ
it?
Watt. I don't know. Either way, Miles Garrett. You know what you're 20 sacks. The defense is solid. But it's really, I mean, Deshaun Watson, everyone else has been partying. Kenny Pickett smoking cigars. Deshaun Watson's been
Mm.
putting in the work, and it's mainly because he wasn't invited because he's a threat. But
It was Nick Bosa.
Nick Bosa, there we go. Yeah, I think Deshaun Watson, he's been putting in that work this season. I think it's gonna be,
I hope
he's gonna look.
so.
I think it's gonna look a lot different than it did last year. So, and I'll go ahead and say number one because I mean, I might as well. We might as well go by
Mm-hmm.
twos here. It's Joe Burrow and the Bengals. I mean, like I said earlier, our Tom Brady, our Peyton Manning. It's Mahomes. It's Burrow. I mean, I'd be shocked if they weren't competing against each other just about every year.
Yeah,
So
definitely.
I'm not even gonna go too much into that.
What would you compare
One,
that like rivalry to? Like, we ever like what?
I
Who
mean, again,
did
Manning
anyone
and
ever?
Brady.
Yeah, Manning and Brady. Yeah.
That's
That's
really
a
it. I mean,
yeah.
you
I'm
know. So
proud.
yeah,
I'm proud because I'm a Niners fan. Is this Shane? So, do you guys think Aaron Rodgers will be MVP Rodgers?
I think he'll be good. He'll be better than he was last year because he has better weapons.
That's a good
I don't think he's gonna
question.
win the MVP.
We might have to make that a topic for week 3. That's
I
actually
think we'll hit the MVP,
we'll
just
touch
not
that.
today.
Yeah,
Not
we're gonna definitely do our. We love our early MVP and Super Bowl
today.
predictions. What was it last year? We both said Chiefs, right?
Give me 2 seconds. I'll let you know.
I'll let you look at that while I name my 2 and 3 or my 2 and 1. So 2, where is it? There we go. I have the Steelers. I think, they got some young guys on that offense. No matter what, young guys, I mean, that defense is going to carry you wherever you want to go as long as they stay healthy. We just need, Kenny Pickett, Najee, and the young receiving core to take that step. If that receiving core takes that step, I mean, they're not going to be better than the Bengals, but they're going to get in playoffs and they're going to make some noise. I mean, they have everything. Like, so you know what? I was looking at this last night. You know how we were talking about Deontay Johnson had like how many receiving yards?
I don't know
A
how many
thousand.
yards he had.
It was like a
He had over.
thousand plus. Or no, you
He
said
had,
how many catches?
he had over 100.
Over 100 catches. Think if he had what? Would you say 2 receiving touchdowns? 0. If he gets, he was wide receiver 30 last year. If he gets like 5 touchdowns, he's probably wide receiver 10. Just because I'm sure those catches came with yards. I think they were saying like one catch he had like 80 yards. Insane. How do you get, he had to have some space. Um but yeah, I think Steelers is a good 2. And they'd probably be a 1 in many other divisions with that defense, but you have the Bengals. No, they have a rocky defense, I will say that. I do like Hubbard, their defensive
Kuba,
yeah. No,
Sam.
yeah, Sam. We'll go with Sam this time. I've put too much faith in Chuba. But that defense, but here's the thing. That defense doesn't have big names, but when Burrow starts slinging that rock, they're going to play behind him. They're going to play for him because
You
that is a
know,
locker room guy.
and let's be honest. If it wasn't for, I can't think of the name. If it wasn't for that late hit out of bounds, we might the whole course of everything might have changed, right? If it
Hmm.
wasn't for them getting that 15-yard penalty, putting the Chiefs in field goal range, We might have a different Super Bowl. Obviously we would have a different Super Bowl champion if the Bengals won, but it might
Mm-hmm.
have changed everything. So
Definitely.
just something to
Um,
think about.
I mean, what they do this offseason, everyone's been literally praying. And I'm
Higgins.
gonna give those guys, on the O line last year some respect. They had some no name linemen.
Who did they get? You know the name? I know the name because he
Or
was a
was
Raven.
Orlando? Wait, oh, they got another.
No, no, no. You said you started saying the name. He was a Raven. We traded him
Orlando
to
Brown
the
was.
Chiefs. Yep, we traded him to the Chiefs for a first round pick.
Yeah, people have been praying for them to get him some help, and they went and got a amazing left
A
tackle.
Super Bowl winning left
Yeah,
tackle.
Super Bowl winning mentality left tackle. Yeah, which is huge for the
Which,
Bengals.
which, by the way, are Super Bowl predictions from last year. Hunter had the Bills and the Rams in the Super Bowl.
He's lying, chat.
Hey, but I had the Bills and the Packers, so we were both
Dang, we were
very.
that off.
Yeah, we had a lot of faith in the Bills
No,
and
you know
Josh
what it
Allen.
was? You know what it was? People thought that the Chiefs weren't going to make the playoffs, and we were telling
Yeah,
them they have lost their mind.
but
Um,
yeah, here we are,
yeah.
Bills and Rams.
Um, yeah. That I mean,
Yep. So let's go ahead and summarize that. I had for the AFC North, I had first place the Bengals, second place the Browns, third place the Steelers, fourth place my Baltimore Ravens.
all right. Well, my predictions were first we got the Bengals, second Steelers, third Ravens, and fourth give me the Browns. Those will be our NFC. Oh,
AFC.
AFC North
Yo, can we
predictions.
cut that? Cut.
Cut. Yeah, we're gonna cut that out. TikTok. Sorry. Um, I got the Niners and the Bills. Don't tell the Cowboys
This year?
fans that. Don't tell the Cowboys fans that.
I mean, as we talked about earlier, I mean the Niners, Cowboys will be the top three teams again. I think in the
Well,
NFC.
I don't know if you saw our episode 1, but we have the Bills making a big fall off.
Yep.
But the Cowboys
Yep.
fans hate us. Oh, they definitely hate y'all. Hello, camera. Okay, cool. My
Probably
light
because
decided to go
y'all.
off. Ooh, does it
Probably
look
because when
better with it
San
off?
Fran, I don't know, when San Fran plays in Dallas, probably because half the fans are wearing 49ers jerseys.
Yeah.
I mean, I'd be kind of salty too. So let's go ahead and move on, though. We're gonna go ahead and we're gonna go
Ranking
ahead.
the
Yep.
boys.
Yep.
This was a very requested. Last week we ranked our main dynasty league. Now we're gonna be ranking our new dynasty league that we are in. Which is I don't know how long you spent on this, Tyler. I spent almost 45 minutes to an hour after work, so 4 in the morning, ranking this
Nope.
league.
Nope.
Um,
It's a little too difficult for me to spend more than the 15 to 30 minutes I spent on it. It's just we're used to the other league.
yeah, we know like
We
how
know
the
what team they have. We know what
yeah,
picks they have in the rookie draft that's coming up. Whereas in this league, everything is just so different.
it is.
So we just I try to do the best that I could. Obviously I'm gonna probably be pretty wrong on some of these, but yeah. Do you want to pull up the teams again and
Yeah,
that way
I'm
we
going
can
to pull them up real quick. Give me 1 second. I'm gonna also have to pull chat up on the phone. All right, I'm gonna have to do some adjusting real quick because we gotta boom. Actually, can I still full screen that? Not apparently not. Cool.
how we doing, chat? Who else in here? What's up, guys? How y'all doing? Tori, I see you in here. You've been in here. How are you doing today? Good sir.
Man, if I could get there we go. That's what we needed. Ooh, it's gonna look better than last time. I love it. All right, all right, all right.
That's good, bro. Good to hear. Good to hear.
Sleeper, and we said it's the boys, right? The
Yep.
boys.
Yep.
Boom. teams. Why is there a trade up there? Did I miss something? League. There we go. We are going to pull that down. Just actually, we can. Oh my gosh, there it is. There we go. There we go. Make that a little bit bigger. All right.
It's
You
pretty
want to
good, bro.
start it
It's pretty
off?
good.
You want to start it off? You want me to start it off?
No, I have no problem starting it off. Let's just go ahead
Sounds
and
good.
let's roll two teams at a time.
All right. So 12 and 11.
All right, so 12th place, we got my boy. Hey, this, by the way, this is no disrespect whatsoever for any of these people before we name
And I
these.
do
I
want to say
just,
this is my first actual super flex league I'm paying attention to. So no
yeah.
disrespect.
All right, so starting off in 12th place, I'm rolling with J Money. Uh, Obviously, he's got Joe Burrow,
Mm-hmm.
which is always good. His running backs, and outside of Cooper Kupp and Kittle, as far as this year goes, right, we're ranking by the year. I think you're going to get what you get out of Joe Burrow. I think Mixon will be solid again. I think Kupp's going to be solid again. I think Kittle's going to be solid. Where I have an issue with this team is the running backs in general. Like when you have Carlos Edwards or Carlos, Clyde Edwards-Helaire as your running back too, it kind of worries me because they do have Pacheco who took a step as a rookie and is now the best running back in my opinion on a Super Bowl winning roster.
Mm-hmm.
You got Odell at wide receiver too. Not a fan of that. Just because we know that the Ravens are going to throw the ball more, but we don't know how much, and we don't know how efficient it's going to be, and we also don't know how good Odell's going to be after another bad injury. He's got Mike Williams who struggles with injuries, and they also just drafted Quentin Johnston, so we'll see what happens with that. And then also in a flex, we have Jackson Smith and Jigba out of Rockwall. Shout out to him. But at the end of the day, Lockett showed no signs of falling off yet. So I think Smith and Jigba is going to be like a 700-800 yard guy, 6 touchdowns or so. But I don't know if it's somebody that's going to be starting every week on my team, you know. And then he has
Okay.
Daniel Jones at quarterback as well. Let's be honest, most of the reason why he was so good in fantasy last year was running ability. So I think teams have now had a chance to figure him out a little bit more. So I
Mm-hmm.
don't expect him to be as good as he was last year. So, and again, by the way, some of these are pretty tough. So that's why I say don't take it personal. He does have D Hop on the bench, which I mean, it's D Hop.
Yeah.
But outside that, his bench it's not great. But yeah, you sub D Hop in for Smith and Jigba or Mike Williams or Odell, and yeah, I don't think anybody's gonna get blown out of the water team up. So when we rank you last, it's not that I'm saying your team's gonna be terrible. It's saying that I think this league's pretty competitive, and
Yes.
I don't know. You could go 5-9 and get last place, you know. So yeah, that's gonna be my 12th. You can go ahead and get your 12th.
All right. So my 12 is, sorry, I was typing down your 12. Where's my, there we go. So my 12 is Diggy Zane. Um, he's got a ton of young guys, so it was kind of, it was, we really don't know what they're gonna do, and his young guys, Bijan, like, they're talking about how he's gonna be a great running back. He's on the Falcons. We really don't know how the Falcons are gonna look this year. Jamar Gibbs on Detroit. Obviously, he's going to have the same role as Swift, which is, a very good like fantasy production role. So I do like that. Y'all know I've been saying I think Stefan will not be in Buffalo. So I'm not sure how that's going to, affect his fantasy outlook. He's still going to eat, but, kind of got to see what team he might go to. Like I said, I don't think he'll be in Buffalo. If he is still in Buffalo, I mean, he's going to put some good numbers up. But then you have Christian Kirk. I mean, he's going to be wide receiver 2 in Jacksonville. Who knows, maybe even 3. Calvin Ridley coming back. David Njoku, he's just, shown like great signs. Phenomenal athlete. but can he stay healthy? Christian Watson, y'all know I have high hopes for Jordan Love, but we're going to have to see how that works out. I mean, Watson is a phenomenal athlete. Jordan Love has shown he can already make those throws, but, I'm also not a big fan of having. Well, I mean, I guess this, if I was gonna have any receiver running back combo, it would probably be Christian Watson and Aaron Jones. That I just think that and Sam, this really is what made me put Diggy at the end. I would just
I
never
look.
trust any Washington running back. He does have Kenny Pickett though,
Wait,
granted.
wait. He's a quarterback. My thing with Sam Howell
Did I
is
say running back?
yes, but it's fine.
Dang.
My thing with Sam Howell is at one point he was projected as the number one quarterback in his draft class, which was the Pickett year.
Yeah.
I don't know what happened with him at college, but I mean he's starting in the NFL, so
Yeah.
I think Sam Howell might be decent. I don't know if it'll be this year, and I also
Mhm.
don't know. I didn't watch any Sam Howell film. He only played the Cowboys, and their defense dominated Dallas that game.
Yeah.
So we'll see with Sam Howell. I don't know. I don't hate Sam Howell. At one point, like I said, he was projected as the number one quarterback to be taken in that draft.
Mhm.
So
Mhm.
he just kind of fell off.
I mean, yeah. I mean, this team has a lot of young potential. I just, I kept it safe. You know, Christian Kirk and Bijan,
Hmm.
Njoku, like all the younger guys. It was kind of. I just feel like this is a safer pick to be the number 12 team.
That's fair. You want to go ahead at 11, or you want me to?
I'll go ahead hit 11. At 11, my 11 is actually your 12. J Money. He has Burrow, Daniel Jones. Like I said, I've been telling people this. That was his peak last year. And when your peak is like 15 touchdowns, that's not good. Is it
That's
his
true.
peak because he has no receivers? I don't know. I mean, he's going to have to leave the Giants to ever figure that out because they're just not great at building teams. Mike Williams, I have him on my fantasy team, so we're going to, put great vibes on him. He is a great receiver. He does have, he was battling an ankle injury last year, I believe. But that receiver room is getting pretty tight in there. JSN, high hopes. I'm a Seattle fan, obviously. I have high hopes for JSN. Another, deep wide receiver room. George Kittle's going to get his. Y'all heard me say what I said about Odell earlier. I do not. I I just don't. I don't wish this on anybody. He's either probably not going to make it through the season, which I just don't even like saying that, or I mean, just not a great locker room guy. I mean, and that's really what I think the Chiefs need, or the Ravens need is a great locker room guy. Um, Cooper Cup, I told everyone last year, do not draft Cooper Cup in the first round. And what did everyone do? They drafted Cooper Cup in the first round and they regretted it. Not because
Or
he wasn't putting his stats up.
or they traded Tyreek Hill, Chris Olave, and Jim Bean for him.
Mm-hmm.
So we had that happen in the league. Somebody
We did.
traded Tyreek Hill, Chris Olave, and somebody else for Cooper Cup to try to win a championship. He still made it to the championship despite that, but he lost. So
So who'd he lose
yeah,
to?
I believe it was you.
He lost to Chris Olave.
So
um, yeah, Cooper Cup. I mean, if Stafford stays healthy and he stays healthy, he's going to be, he could still be a league winner. But that's two guys that you have to keep healthy. Um, CHE, I mean, or CEH. I always get it backwards, just probably not even the starting running back. Mixon, I hope none of our league is listening, but might not even be there this year. And if he gets cut late, might not even be on a team.
a lot of question marks.
Yeah. And obviously Joe Burrow is the major upside. Not really a great bench. It was hard for me to not put this team at 12.
and that's
Um,
fair.
yeah, it was hard for me to not put this. Looking at it now, I might, should have put it at 12, but I'm gonna stick to it. I got J Money at 11.
Okay. All right, we're gonna go ahead and dive in with my 11. We got Coco, Team Coco.
Team Coco.
And let's go ahead and hit it because he does have some heavy hitters. Don't get me wrong.
Mm-hmm. It was hard.
Um,
Yeah, this was
Tua,
hard.
Tua, can Tua stay healthy?
That's the
Or is he gonna take
question.
another? He might be one concussion away from deciding to retire.
Yeah.
So you never know. I just think there's a lot of question marks around him. His running backs are decent. Javonte Williams, Miles. How is Javonte gonna come back?
Mm-hmm.
Uh, we didn't even really get to see him his last year, so we don't even know what the ceiling is. Miles Sanders, he's on a. Let's be honest, they got Bryce Young, but they're still a rebuilding team. He's decent though. His receivers I love, right? AJ Brown and Jalen punch right there. Those guys might get you 20 a game. Mark Andrews at tight end. We'll see what happens with him. The flexes, I mean, we got Cortland Sutton and Marquise Brown.
Mm-hmm.
Marquise Brown, both guys could be decent. His biggest issue for me, though, is Kyler Murray. Kyler Murray is his super flex quarterback, his other quarterback. We don't know. He got injured, I think, late. So I don't know. I mean, we don't know if he's even going to play week 1. We don't know when he's going to come back and play. So can this team survive? You're not going to survive with that rookie running back. I don't really.
No.
A Kane, I don't. I heard he's really good. He's shown flashes in camp, but you're not going to survive against these other guys with two really solid
Yeah.
quarterbacks.
To play
With
anything other than quarterback and superflex would have to be like a Justin Jefferson type
And who
player.
the fuck is Clayton Tune? I don't know. I really don't know.
Yeah.
No disrespect to him, but we got Colt McCoy. So I mean, why not go with the guy that's already played in the league? I don't know. I just think I I think if he's got solid pieces though. He's got the Miami running back. He's got Kendre Miller. He's got Will Levis. He's got Dalvin Cook.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
He's got solid pieces. I just don't know if they work in his favor this year. I
Yeah,
just
like
don't.
Kyler Murray would have to come back like week 2, week 3. If Kyler Murray stays out too long, then I mean,
Eh,
the
And
season is just gonna be chalked.
you still got the running backs in the flex position question marks. There's a lot of
Yeah.
question marks. You know what you're getting out of AJ Brown, Waddle, Andrews. You know what you're getting out of those three.
Mm-hmm.
It's everybody else on this team that makes me go, I don't I don't know. Like this league really was hard to rank because you just don't know.
Yeah.
So that was my 11. I'm gonna go ahead and hit my 10.
Okay. Okay.
Shout out to my boy Hunter. I got him at 10.
God.
Uh, I mean,
God dang it.
and a lot of it is gonna come down on Anthony Richardson. I think he's the biggest make or break for your team. If he performs well, Rodgers is gonna perform. But if Anthony Richardson performs well, you're probably top 8, top 7, top 16. But we don't know. So you got good running backs. You got Jonathan Taylor, Nick Chubb. You got CeeDee Lamb. Can Pickens take that next step? You don't like Justin Fields very much. So how much confidence do you have in Komet? James Cook, we haven't seen Buffalo backs really produce. And Jahan Dotson, same thing. You don't really like Walker. If you don't have faith in the quarterback, it's kind of hard to have faith in Dotson. And can Dotson stay healthy? He got hurt last year. So I think your team has a lot of question marks. You do got a solid bench. You got Foreman. You got Samaje Perine. You got Richie James, who won you a championship last year. Sky Moore. You got solid pieces on the bench. But I think most of your success is going to come down to Anthony.
Well, we have me ranked in 2 completely different locations. So we'll get to that We will get to that a lot later. um, so after the disrespect I just heard, that was your 10, right?
Yeah.
Okay. That's insanity. No, you just did. So you're, let me go ahead and get this down. Hold on. So I can remember
Oh,
this
fuck.
later. So at 10 is me. So yeah, J Money, Coco, and me, right?
Yeah.
12, 11, 10. All right. So my 10, we won't go too deep into it because I think you just, when you explained it, you hit, the nail on the head. Um I have Coco. I mean, we won't harp on it too much. Everything you said was spot on.
I'm about to say we don't have to repeat on
Yeah.
why. I mean,
Yeah.
we can just kind of like, same reasons you had, unless there's a point you want to add
Yeah.
on. It's fine.
My 9 is let me find it on here real quick. Where are you? Private Parts. He has T-Law and Dak, two good, quarterbacks. We're starting to get to the point where ranking the teams is, it's going to get really
Hard.
close. Like all the
Yep.
teams from here on out are really close in talent. Ken Walker and Stevenson. The reason I ranked this team a little bit lower, I don't know. Like Ken Walker's going to get his touches. They're also going to split touches. That we went and drafted a running back, Garrett Wilson, Amari Cooper. I talked earlier. I'm not high on Amari Cooper, which might come back and bite me. Um, you know, Good flexes. Madison and Cooks. Like I said, like what do I have? This 9. So like
Yep.
what? 6 people make playoffs, right?
Yes.
So I feel like in this league, 7, 8, 9 is the bubble. Like anything, like the guys in 7, 8, and 9, they're really close to 6. And like, so 6, 7, 8, 9, right here, anything here can be changed out. Like
Yep.
the teams are super close. This is what took me the longest was 6, 7, 8, 9, because I like everyone's team just when you look at it from a healthy perspective is just like dang, well anything can happen at this point. So 9, I have Private Parts. I'll go ahead and let you do your 9.
Well, again, we're not gonna sit here harp on the same reasons. I have Private Parts at 9 as well. And I'll go ahead and say my number 8 because you had them as your number 12. My number 8, I got Zane. I forgot what you called him, Diggy Poop.
Diggy.
I have him a little bit higher just because the potential of the players he does have. I mean, come on, Jameer Gibbs, Bijan are both going to be starting running backs. Bryce Young's going to be starting quarterback. Stephon Diggs, you know what you're getting out of him. Plays, he's going to be a magnet. Hurt, Njoku, I expect him to be good. Watson, I expect him to be good. Aaron Jones, however, I personally think the Packers scheme is going to change a little bit because as good as we think Jordan Love's going to be, it's not the same guy as Aaron Rodgers. So I don't know if we're going to see that same 1-2 punch. I feel like they might find more success running the ball, setting up like maybe play actions or something like
Mm-hmm.
that.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not. I mean, obviously, I don't know what they plan on doing because we haven't even seen them yet. But yeah, I got him at 8. So
Okay. I
which
like
again
it.
is bubble. It's bubble.
Yeah, definitely. Um, so sorry, I'm having to go back. I'm writing yours down. Am I having to go back to my predictions? Um, so I'll go ahead and do my 8 and 7. My 8 is Gaj. Let me go ahead and pull that up real quick. Jared Goff. Okay, so I mean, this team. I mean, Jared Goff, solid quarterback, right? Um, really, I mean, Brian Robinson and Superflex is not good. I'm assuming, you know, Tannehill's going to come in for that, or probably, yeah, it would have to be Tannehill because Trey Lance is, and definitely not Kyle Trask.
That's fair.
The more I look at this team, the more I'm like, why did I rank it so high? Yeah, you know why I ranked it so high? Because Jamar Chase and Devontae Smith. Okay, so I ranked this team high because Jamar Chase, Devontae Smith, Darren Waller, probably going to be still solid tight end pick. Debo, solid, like amazing flex position right there. Pachenko, if he pans out, could be a really good pick. Oh Lord, y'all know what I
What?
think about Shakir. Please don't put him in your starting lineup.
That Tennessee tight end though is supposed to be pretty good. He has a lot of hype on him. I don't know
Oh, right
why.
here. Okay, okay.
I'm not super big on him, but I mean, what do I know? I'm not a fucking analyst, you know.
Yeah, I just think the receiver value here is crazy, and he has Barkley, and if Pierce comes back, I don't know why. Like for some reason, I've heard a lot of people think Pierce like is gonna have some crazy fall off, which is really weird to me. I mean, he showed nothing but potential last year. Now they finally have an actual quarterback that doesn't look like a snake because his neck is so damn long.
That's fair.
Potentially, good quarterback change. So I think that team just has a lot of value there, and that was Gaj at my 8. I'll go ahead and do my 7, who is Coy. Good old Coy, who is going to be a top guy in our other league. So where is it? Coy. Again, all these teams are bubble teams. They could definitely make playoffs. Josh Allen, Justin Fields, like maybe the best fantasy lineup of quarterbacks in
Quarterbacks.
this league. Um, the thing that made me put you lower, Coy, I've never been a big Dobbins guy. Was J.K. Dobbins? I almost said Josh Dobbins. Never been a big J.K. Dobbins guy. He has crazy potential. You have two very high ceiling running backs that have just not shown, haven't been able to show their full potential yet because injuries. Because your second running back is Cam Akers. A lot of people believe in Cam Akers. Like I said, I'm not a believer. Um, your receivers are kind of weak. You have T. Higgins, wide receiver two. Jerry Judy, another super. You got a lot of super potential guys that have been plagued by injury. Jerry Judy can be on the same level as CeeDee Lamb. So who knows? Goddard, amazing tight end. Pittman, I'm gonna say this. Pittman has sold me for years. So I'm sorry. Ayuk, I'm more high on Ayuk than I am Pittman. I think he has good potential in the offense he's in. And then obviously Justin Fields. You got a lot to build off of, which is great. You know, decent bench, AJ Dillon, um, Gabriel Davis, I guess. And then I don't even know how to say this dude's last name for the Texans. Is it Mechie?
Yeah. John
Yeah.
Mechie.
You know, he's the one. He had leukemia, right? Is he the one that had leukemia?
He had some
No,
kind of cancer. I
is
don't know.
he? Okay, yeah. I mean, I've heard a lot of great things. A lot of potential right there. So yeah, we'll see. I have you at what was that? 7. So right outside playoffs.
All right, my 7. Going back to Gaj. Um, Same reasons. Anytime you got Jamar Chase and Devontae Smith, I mean, you know, Saquon, Pierce, Jared Goff wasn't terrible last year. Waller, I mean, I expect him to finally be back to being decent. You got Debo,
Mm-hmm.
Pacheco. I mean, I honestly could have him lower just because his quarterback situation's really bad. If Tannehill gets benched and Lance never starts, you're left without a quarterback, which is literally the most important position in a super flex league because if you have a Justin Fields and a Josh Allen, they can get you a week if Fields plays as good as he did those few weeks last year.
And
So
this is who on 7?
This is Gaj.
Gosh. Okay.
Whatever.
Cool. Cool.
Yeah.
Cool. Cool. Cool.
So I got him at 7. Not gonna harp on the same reason on all reasons, same stuff pretty much. It's really
Mm-hmm.
the second quarterback that I worry for him for.
Yeah.
Um, but at 6, which is our first team in the playoffs, our 6th seed, we're gonna go with Coy.
Okay.
Um, it's really, in my opinion, it's gonna come down to the running backs for him. You got Josh Allen and Fields. I expect them to be pretty good. I think they'll both be top 10 quarterbacks or quarterback ones in fantasy.
Yeah.
But Dobbins and Akers, those are big question marks.
Very,
It-
very, very.
But then you got Higgins, Judy, Goddard, Pittman, Ayuk. I mean, Pittman's the only one there that I may worry about.
Yeah.
Can Richardson get him the ball?
Mm-hmm.
Um, but outside that, I mean, this is a decent team.
Richardson hater, by the way, guys. Just had to throw that in there.
I mean, he only completed 50% of his passes his last year in college. It's college. So, yeah, this team could be a 6 seed and could be a 9 seed. I mean, we'll see what happens there. But yeah, that's my 6 seed.
All right. I like how I was so worried that our teams were going to be super far off. But we're actually keeping it pretty close right now.
Besides one.
Yeah. Who was that? My bottom J Money?
No, you.
Oh yeah, me. Oh man. Speaking of me, um not yet. Dynasty Nights at 6.
Who is that?
Dynasty Nights
Oh,
is
Logan.
Logan. We got Justin Herbert and Geno. Solid running why do I keep trying to call them running backs? Solid quarterback picks. As long as Geno hits that peak again. Like I
Or at
said,
least close to
yeah,
it.
close to it because like I said, I think last year was his ceiling.
I don't think he's repeating as a quarterback 5. He was quarterback 5.
Yeah. We got Austin Eckler, Christian McCaffrey. The reason I didn't put you in the top 3 probably is DJ Moore. I mean, great receiver. Justin Fields is going to get his fantasy points, but I think he's going to get them on the ground. Like I've said all leading up to the season, I'm not a big Justin Fields believer. I hope he changes my mind. I'd love that.
Yeah. By the way, have you stopped calling him a running back? Are you officially calling him a quarterback?
Justin Fields?
Yes.
No, not yet. No, we're gonna still call
Okay.
him
Still a running back.
still a running back. He's still gonna be a running back.
Okay.
Yeah. Lamar's a quarterback now, but I'm gonna keep calling Justin Fields a running back. Calvin Ridley, very high ceiling guy. We just don't know what he's gonna do yet. Tight end, iffy. We'll see. I mean, he definitely showed signs last year to be a top premier tight end.
My question for you, since you're a Seahawks fan,
Yeah.
does Russell Wilson love his tight ends? Do you think this guy's gonna get a lot of targets or
So Russell Wilson does love his tight ends. For some reason, he couldn't love Jimmy Graham, which is very disappointing. Um, I think he'll get some solid looks. Now he's not going to be a top 5 guy.
Fair
He'll
enough.
be a top 10. Tight ends are just really iffy. Top 5 last year. After 5, like if you had a top 6 through 10, they weren't they weren't getting you a lot of points.
It's always a fall off with
Yeah.
tight ends.
It'll be a solid tight end. Like I'd rather have him over, I don't know, maybe Dawson Knox. Still a top
That's
10
fair.
tight end, but James Conner, his fall off is here. We're watching it happen live. Actually, I mean, I can't say that. Let me look at his stats from last year. Okay, he got hurt. I say that, but he's over here with like 20-point games and stuff.
I was about to say
So
James Conner was decent. We expected him to
yeah.
have a fall off
Where
last year. That
what
never
was
happened.
he? Running back what running back running backs is his no, he's number 6.
No, I think he was running back 20.
That's insane because I guess because weeks 6 through 9 or
Because he
6 through
missed
8 he didn't
games.
play, and
Yeah.
then yeah,
He
I
missed
mean
4
he had,
games.
you
But
know,
when he
but
played, he was decent.
yeah, true. I mean, we'll see if he keeps that up. Um, then we have Rashad White. I mean, we really didn't see enough on him last year. I mean, he definitely showed signs of
Well, my thing with him
his
is Tom
Baker
Brady.
Mayfield. Yeah,
Tom Brady is the check down king. So
true.
Tom Brady's not there checking it down. So
Yeah, and Baker Mayfield's gonna, he's gonna put that rock down the field.
we'll see.
We're
We'll
big. We are big Baker Mayfield believers on the
we'll
Any
we'll,
Given
we'll,
Sunday podcast, on my end at least.
we'll see. We'll see.
So yeah, I have Dynasty Nights at 6. We'll go ahead and do my 5. Me. 5 spots
Okay.
higher than Tyler. It might be because it's me. I have very high hopes for Aaron, and Anthony Richardson. Tyler's
Yo,
an Anthony
shout out Milky. What's up, Milk Dud?
Milky baby. We got Anthony Richardson. Tyler's a hater. It's okay. He always has been. Uh, I think he's gonna be a really good NFL quarterback, and hopefully starting this year. I think he'll be a good NFL quarterback this year because I think Jonathan Taylor's back, and I think that's gonna take a lot of pressure off of him. I mean, as long as Jonathan Taylor's back, if he gets hurt, then it's gonna be iffy. I have Nick Chubb and Jonathan Taylor, Nick Chubb and Jonathan Taylor. So please, Jonathan, be back. Please be back. Two, top backs potentially. CD and George Pickens. Like I said, I have very high hopes the Steelers. I'm about to sell y'all why I'm a number 5 team. I have high hopes the Steelers are going to be back this year. I think Kenny Pickett and NFL young boy are going to get it done. CD is obviously going to get his. Commit was a top tight end fantasy wise last year. Never mind. Was he?
He was solid. He was 7.
Yeah, which is okay. I'm gonna show y'all why I said the fall off between 5 and then 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 is huge. Commit had 0 game 1, 0 game 2, 6, 4, 2, 5, 9, 23, 6, 13. That's a huge fall off from probably the top 5 to number 7 tight end, by the way. I do have high hopes for Commit. Just because, you know, when you have a running back at quarterback, they're gonna have, their tight end is their baby. So
Their safety blanket.
yeah. I have James Cook. Y'all are gonna find out I'm a huge, and I don't know why. Literally don't know who sold me on this. Some TikTok video, I'm sure. Huge James Cook fan. I drafted him in my other dynasty. And I have huge hopes he's gonna be the starter this year. Jahan Dotson, he has very high potential. And he makes me feel, what Tyler said earlier about Sam Howell makes me feel a lot better about having him at my flex. Did I rank myself too high? Maybe. But I have beliefs in my team. I have Deontay Foreman, I think, is going to be the starting running back for the Bears.
Can we just get the chant in the chat? I believe that we will win.
There we
Believe that
go.
we will
There
win.
we go. I feel like I have a lot of,
Belief. Yes.
belief on the bench. So me at 5 when Tyler had me at 10. All right. I'm gonna go ahead and let you do your what is it, 6 and 5 or 5 and
No,
4?
5 and 4. We
5
got
and
5.
4.
We got Logan. We're not gonna or Dynasty Nights. We're not gonna
Okay.
harp too much on it. You got Eckler, CMC, top 2 running backs in fantasy last year. Herbert, Geno. We'll see. I think he has a lot of fire, a lot of upside.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So, but at 4, I'm gonna go with my own team. If you want to pull that up, because they can't see it if you don't pull it up.
You're right.
Um,
You're right. You're right. You're right. Let me go down here so I can pull it up big. Pull it up big. And I just want to let y'all know I am moving Tyler down to the 12 spot on my list.
yeah, if I get 12th, I will leave the league. All right, guys. So I'm not gonna talk too much about it. We're gonna move on to UFC after this, just so we
We
all
do need to
know.
talk about some UFC.
I got Mahomes. I mean, it's Mahomes. We got Derek Carr, CJ Stroud. If he can get it together by the end of the year, I'll
I
be
do think
sliding him in.
Mahomes and Carr is going to be a crazy duo because Carr's got the dog in him still.
And he's got Olave, who I also have on my
Does.
team. So we got ETN, we got Najee, we got 2 solid backs.
Mm-hmm.
I'll be the first to admit my running back situation isn't ideal. Um,
I mean,
I
I
mean,
like it. I
we'll
like
see.
it.
I got Fournette. I need him to get signed somewhere, but we got Damian Harris, Elijah Mitchell, we got Bijan's Cuff, we got Najee. I got Zamir White, Tank Bigsby. I got those backs. So we got plenty of depth. I just don't know how productive this will be. But yeah, we got ETN Najee starting. We got Amon-Ra St. Brown, which everyone's big on. I got Chris Olave. I mean, we know one thing about Derek Carr is he finds that one guy, and he had Renfro a couple years ago. He had Devontae Adams last year, and now he's got Olave. So I expect big things out of Olave.
Mm-hmm.
My biggest question mark amongst my starters, in my opinion, is Kyle Pitts. He had a great rookie year. I think it was like the second most receiving yards or something like that
With
by a
no
rookie tight
touchdowns.
end since Mike Ditka back in whenever, 60s, 50s, whatever. I don't know. So yeah, that's my biggest question mark amongst my starters. I think Deontay Johnson. We already covered the Steelers a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
I think Deontay Johnson. He's definitely gonna touch the end zone a little bit this year. I hope his receptions are about the same. And then we got Quentin Johnston. I mean, yeah, I got Johnston. We got Valdez Scantling. We got Wandell on. I mean, I got Zay Flowers on my taxi. I just feel like I have a solid team. As long as Derek Carr performs, I mean, we got Mahomes and Derek Carr. I think those guys can give you 50, 60 a game,
Definitely.
mainly with Mahomes carrying that weight. But yeah, I got myself at 4.
Nice,
So
nice, nice. All right, so we're gonna get into my. Where you at? We're gonna get into my 4 and 3. I'm gonna try to go a little fast here. 4, I have Blackie Chan. Obviously, Matthew Stafford, Lamar Jackson, solid quarterback combination. So I kind of based him on his, I based him on Kamara not getting suspended, obviously, because if Kamara gets suspended, he is actually he might not be too off bad because he has Antonio Gibson on the bench. But if Kamara gets suspended, he's going to be a lot lower than I have him. Derrick Henry, Alvin Kamara, amazing running back combination right there. Tyreek Hill, Keenan Allen, both guys that are going to 100% get their touches. TJ Hawkinson, premier top 5 tight end. We got Tyler Lockett, no signs of fall off yet. Tony, injury issues, but probably
that's the
wide
only.
receiver 1 in KC. That's the only question mark. That being
Yep.
said, I mean, he has Hunter Renfro. I know Hunter Renfro didn't have a great year last year. If I will say this, if Jimmy G is the quarterback, I want Hunter Renfro on my fantasy squad because I mean he's gonna eat. Um, yeah, so he has potential. If Tony gets hurt, Hunter Renfro can come in. So I think that is a pretty solid pick for my 4 spot. My 3 spot, I have King Tut, whom I'm playing week 1, is probably going to beat the shit out of me. We have Jalen Hurts, Kirk Cousins. Jalen Hurts, number 1 quarterback last year. Kirk Cousins has Justin Jefferson, so I'm not too worried about his numbers. We got Josh Jacobs and David Montgomery. Josh Jacobs, he's going to get his. David Montgomery. So someone had to explain. I forgot if it was McMillan or if it was Coy that said this. David Montgomery is going to get a lot of touches. I think Gibbs is going to be more of a receiving back, kind of how they use Swift, and Montgomery is going to take that role that Jamal had last year, and Jamal had insane touchdowns. He's going to be pounding the rock up the middle. Um, we have Devontae.
Pause.
We have Devontae Adams and DK Metcalf. We have Devontae Adams, it's gonna be depend who's throwing the rock. DK, he's gonna get his. Travis Kelsey was huge for this pick right here, because he's gonna get his 30 points a game. McLaurin, solid. I love the Washington receiving core. If they can if Howe can be consistent, that is gonna be, a really top premier receiving core. Y'all know how I am on Jamal Williams. I think he's going to do great in New Orleans, big red zone guy. So yeah, that is my King Tut is my 3.
All right, we'll go ahead and do 3, and then just so everyone knows, our top 2 teams get a first round bye, so they're guaranteed top 4. But yeah, we'll go ahead and hit 3. It's going to be Blackie for me. Same reasons. Let's assume Lamar stays healthy this year. I don't expect Stafford to go down with an injury again. So Henry, Kamara, Tyreek Hill, Keenan Allen's a PPR machine. He's going to get a lot. Hawkinson. I mean, my only fear for Hawkinson is he's sharing the. They added Jordan Addison, who I expect to get quite a few targets, but I think Hawkinson will be fine.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, that's my 3. We're gonna go ahead and hit my 2. We're gonna go with King Tut as well.
Okay.
And I have my reasons for why he's number 2. First off, he has a lot of firepower. He's got Jacobs, Jalen Hurts, Devontae Adams, DK, Travis Kelsey. He's got a lot of heavy hitters. My main
Mm-hmm.
concern for him, though, is just the running backs in general. The running backs and the flex, because let's say Jacobs gets hurt, then he's left with the starting running backs as David Montgomery and Jamal backups on their respective teams. But yeah, per usual, we're going off the assumption that I think this is the number 2 team. Kelsey's going to get you 20 a game. Hurts is going to get you 25, 30 a game, especially if they're running him on quarterback draws or sneaks or whatever. Then one situation's 45 this year.
Move your mic a little bit closer to your face.
Yo, can we hear me? Hello? All right, so I'm going to have to get an actual podcast mic. My apologies. Number 1, though, I'm going to go ahead and hit number 1. Might as well. It's McMillan. It's the only team left. Deshaun Watson, I do expect to be a lot better this year. He's got Breece Hall and Pollard, both solid running backs. My biggest reason for him being number 1 is he has a league winner in Justin Jefferson.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's Justin Jefferson. This is the number 1 receiver last year. I mean, week 1, he went for 40 fantasy points.
Literally, I think has got better every year, right? Like
he's gotten better every year.
Yards wise. Yeah.
Yep, he's just taking it another notch. But yeah, I expect Swift to be solid. I think Godwin, despite the quarterback situation, he's still gonna get a lot of catches. I mean, even if he goes 7 catches, 70, that's 14 points. I mean, if he does that every week, which I expect him to, that's a really good option. Drake London, we'll see what happens with him, but he's showed flashes last year.
Mm-hmm.
And then Russell Wilson with Sean Payton, I expect Russell Wilson to be as good as he was at the end of last year. He the last couple games. So yeah, that's my number 1. We got McMillan at 1.
All right. So I'm gonna go ahead and hit my 2 and 1. At 2, I have McMillan. I'm not gonna harp on it too long. Justin Jefferson. Hall and Pollard are kind of question marks for me. I think that's what sets 2 and 1 apart. Like you said, Justin Jefferson, definitely potentially illegal. I mean, is going to be. So obviously, Justin Jefferson is going to get his. My concern is wide receiver 2, Drake London. Is he going to be your league winner? Dalton Schultz, we'll see how he does in Houston. DeAndre Swift stays healthy. Chris Godwin's going to get his. Russell Wilson, we've been saying this is Russ's comeback year, so we'll see. My number 1, even though he had me at number 10, is Tyler. Mahomes and Carr, insane like quarterback combination. I think Carr is really going to have a great year. ETN and Najee, I mean, that's two prime starting running back ones. We said Jacksonville's going to take that step again this year. I said the Steelers are going to take that step this year. We have Amon-Ra and Chris Olave, two young guys that are killers. Wide receiver one, respectfully on their team. Kyle Pitts, generational talent. If he can get those yards and touchdowns back, if he can get those yards back and add some touchdowns to it, like maybe I'm saying this, and this is crazy. Travis Kelsey status, like right there, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. Him, Mark Andrews, and Kyle Pitts, potentially Deontay Johnson. Like I said, if he gets some touchdowns with those yards and catches, it's going to be insane. You got a guy going from wide receiver 30 to probably wide receiver top 10. Johnston, I'm a big Johnston believer. I think Keenan Allen is a great guy. Age is catching up to him. He's not separating as good. He's still getting his touches, but Johnston is here to make a statement. So yeah, I have Tyler as my champion.
Let's go.
We'll see. All right, guys, that was us ranking the boys. Yes, sir. We will put that. Yes, sir. Clap it up. We will get that in the league so y'all can see it. But I think we should go ahead, hit one last NFL topic, and then we're going to jump right into UFC. Bucket list stadium. We just have one stadium listed that we think you should visit at least once. I'm going to let Tyler start it off.
All right, guys. So Hunter might go with a more historical, like Lambeau, something like that. But for me personally, I'm just gonna go ahead and I'm gonna go with the Arrowhead Stadium. Why would you not want to go to Kansas City, watch Mahomes, that crowd?
Second loudest crowd in the NFL, you know?
Saying so. Yeah, I'm gonna go with Chiefs as my number one stadium I would love to visit. I mean, I know like Soldier Field would be awesome to visit, Lambeau, but Chicago's not winning, so that environment's not what I would want to go
No.
visit. So, and we don't know what's gonna happen with Green Bay. I mean, Green Bay, I would still love, but I'm gonna go with Arrowhead. I just think that would be a awesome stadium to hit right now.
Absolutely. Loud and fun. I am going to, bro. You went Arrowhead for, I mean, that's a great environment stadium. I'm going to go with, sorry, I'm fixing stuff right now. Boom.
Guys, what do y'all chat? I don't know who all's still in here. I don't even know if you can look at that. What should I do for lunch? I'm thinking Popeyes. What do we think, Hunter? Popeyes?
Well, all I'm gonna say is last time I got Popeyes, they didn't give me my spicy chicken.
Guys, he also lives out in the middle of nowhere.
And
so, go ahead.
Someone just tweeted or posted on Facebook in the Longview page. They're roaches, so we're not getting that anymore.
Well, y'all's Popeyes.
Yeah. So that being said, I'm gonna go with, the Buffalo Bills. Great environment, awesome crowd. I mean, you got people jumping through tables for no reason, right?
Yep.
Why did the screens just flip? I don't know. It did it though. We're gonna go Buffalo Bills. They make pizza in freaking, what are they? Filing cabinets, bro. Like, they have such cool traditions there. I would go there. I would eat a filing cabinet pizza. I would jump through a table. I would freaking caveman some beers, bro. Just a cool environment, man. And I don't want them to ever change.
I guess if I was a Texans fan, I would switch also.
I mean, you're right. Yep.
So, yeah.
Tim, I will say Tim has been to a Bills game. He didn't jump through the table like we told him to, but he's been there.
Yeah. He could have went to any game.
Yeah. I had Buffalo. Tyler had Arrowhead. Two amazing, stadiums that I don't know, hopefully we can visit them for the podcast. That would be awesome. Into the NBA. We're not going to sit on this long. I know we're keeping you guys a long time. I'm sorry. We just love y'all. We love talking about sports. Wemby, slow start, game one. You know, he already got put on his first poster, which is okay. Game two came out electric. I think he has. So game one, looked bad, 2 for 13. Man had 5 blocks and 8 assists, I believe. So, a lot of potential there. A lot of potential.
Yeah, I mean, he had 27 and 12 last night, so great bounce back game. I feel like every good player struggles early on, whether it be the NBA or summer league. You can't put a lot of stock into it. Like this guy, from what I've seen, I mean, just his passing alone, like he's gonna be able to do it all. So I'm excited to see. I'm excited to see if he just signed a 5-year extension. I'm excited to see if maybe he can get at least one more championship within these next 5 years.
I do want to add one more thing before we move on to UFC. Wimby's handles, what is he, 7'4"? Something
He's
like
tall.
that? His handles for a big guy are insane. That's
He
hilarious.
is. Let's look. Let's look. Let's look.
Milky, we love
Never
you.
mind. Never mind. I guess we're having technical errors. I'll look at my phone real quick. Go ahead. Wimby is a Wimby height. He is 7'3.5". So
Yeah,
7'4".
crazy handles for a 7'4" guy. That's all I'll say. We will move on to UFC,
Been
which
waiting for
we
this part.
which we keep saying we're going to talk about more every week, but we keep running over, which is okay. Here we are. We are going to be recapping UFC 290, talking about some Hall of Fame introductions. We're going to mention UFC 291. We're going to talk about that a little bit closer to its date. And, John Jones. All right. So Tyler, recapping UFC 290. Let me go ahead and pull that card up real quick. And we'll hit some key points. We'll start from the bottom. We'll start with who did we say we were going to start with?
Let's just go ahead and start with Robbie Lawler and Nico
Yeah,
Price.
Robbie
Robbie
Lawler,
Lawler, legend in the
a
sport.
man
Anybody
that made me love UFC because his legendary Robbie Lawler and McDonald fight.
Yep. Busted lip and all.
Yeah, very emotional moment. Like I had Nico Price winning. Um, yeah, Nico Price went to sleep in 38 seconds. And like, what a way to end your career. Like, I thought I could get emotional, like watching the career highlights. Like, that is a warrior right there and a man who did so much for the sport. And I just want a round of applause for that man because what an amazing guy.
And what an amazing fight. I mean,
Yeah.
Nico Price, I don't even know if he landed a single punch, honestly.
I think it got clinched up and put out.
It was quick.
It
Robbie
was.
Lawler definitely deserved that kind of ending. I mean, yeah. I mean, what he just had a legendary career. I mean, who'd he beat for the belt? I don't know. Either way, he's had an amazing career. That fight with Rory McDonald was insane. I
Mm-hmm.
think that was the same card as Connor
It
and
was Chad
all.
Mendez.
Yeah, Mendez. So, man, what a career for him. And what a way to go out. I don't like seeing people go out the way Frankie Edgar went out.
Shout out Chris
Um,
Gutierrez.
Shout out to him. Uh, yeah, what a fight. So,
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. We're not going to talk about Bo Nickel long. The guy he went against, we're going to give him his flowers. He took, the fight less than a week notice. I
but it's
mean,
time. It's time to get Bo Nickel a top 15
oh
opponent.
yeah.
Or either that or somebody right outside. Everyone's saying he can beat Hamzat. So
I'm ready
I'm
to
not
see
saying
it.
I'm not saying we fast track him to Hamzat this
There's
next fight,
levels. There's
but
levels
let's
to
go ahead and
this.
get
Let's
him
give him
some
a
real
heavy
competition.
hitter. Let's give him somebody. Like,
I mean, he's a
maybe
middleweight.
he starts running through some big guys. Then we'll start talking about Hamzat.
Let's give him Whitaker.
Yeah, that'd be a good fight.
Yeah. Jalen Turner and Dan Hooker. How about that one? What do we think on that one? I
Y'all
mean,
know?
I know who we both had in that fight. So
Yeah, I think
I
you
had
had Turner.
I did have Turner. I mean, he came out the gates blazing. He had Dan Hooker very hurt. He hit him with a mean kick.
Yeah, I could still
I
hear it.
mean, like Hunter said earlier, I mean, the
He's still
legend says
processing it.
he's still not felt it yet. So
It's
what a fight
coming.
though. I mean, was that fight of the night? No, I'm guessing the co-main event, Brandon
Yeah,
Moreno
I'm gonna
and
say if anything other
Pantoja.
than Brandon Moreno and Pantoja was not fight of the night, then someone
But
messed up.
that was the second in my opinion.
Yeah.
So yeah.
We have Whitaker and Duplessis, which yeah.
Let's go ahead and let me go ahead and get it out. I guess last week on the podcast I said something in a positive light to Duplessis. I don't know. I just had that feeling. I mean, he's. I watched the fight with Darren Till. He's just. I don't know. I just had that feeling that it was possible. I ended up going Whitaker, because it's Robert Whitaker.
Mhm.
But we gotta stop calling me crazy whenever I have these these thoughts and opinions. It doesn't matter what I've done or
You
haven't
wanna
done. Like I know what I'm talking about. Like you know.
you wanna put a name on that?
No. I'm sure he'll see this. I'm sure he'll see this. Um, but come on, like we got to put some respect on my name. Like you know, I didn't just magically come up with this opinion or thought this. Like I I saw the information, I processed it, and then yeah, I mean it just yeah. So
Well, I'll let the Robert Whitaker hype sway me. I mean, I wouldn't say hype.
it's
Amazing
not hype.
fighter.
I
It's
mean he's a
not.
great
He's
fighter.
him.
I mean
Um,
I don't blame anybody for picking
no.
Whitaker to win. I picked Whitaker to win at the end of the day, but. And I think Izzy's gonna pick that guy apart. By the way, while we're at it, I
Oh,
think
I
he's
literally,
easy.
as soon as it was over, someone asked me, they were like, Izzy and Duplessis, like my thoughts on it. I said, Izzy's gonna do him like he did
Costa.
no, after
You don't
that.
think it's gonna be, you don't think it's gonna be that easy? I mean, who did he fight after that?
Um the dude who everyone was like, oh, he's the only one to ever beat Izzy on the scorecard in a round.
Oh, Vittori. But
Yeah,
he has better
Vittori.
striking than Vittori.
We'll see. Um,
I mean, he knocked out Whitaker, and Whitaker demolished Vittori. But I mean,
true.
different styles make
Yeah,
different fights, which is why I thought Duplessis would have a good chance to win this.
true, very
So,
true, very true.
which by the way, he's been knocked out too. So, uh, I actually watched that fight back yesterday. I watched both of his fights. I can't think of the guy's name, but he beat that guy, and then that guy knocked him out in the match, and then never fought again. So Duplessis is not invincible by any
He's
means.
big too. That's a big dude.
Yeah, he's pretty solid.
Um, we have our co-main event, Moreno and Pantoja, which is officially how you pronounce that, Pantoja. Um, amazing fight. Like, I mean, I said like after round 3, I said if this goes 5, it might be an instant classic. Um,
And there we
just
were.
just the exchanges and like the combinations and like I mean they were throwing like crazy combos, pulling the takedown right after. It was just an insane technical brawl. Like it was amazing. Like what are your thoughts on that fight? And are we going to
Um,
have to watch it 4 times?
I I hope not, but I mean, from what I saw, I feel like honestly, I thought Moreno was gonna win the fight in the
I did
second
too.
round. I thought Pantoja.
Was
I don't know if I said that
gassed.
right. I thought he. I mean, he looked like he was throwing everything in every
Mhm.
single one of his punches, and I knew Moreno wasn't gonna go down like that. So in the second round, I mean, Hunter texted me, "We slept on Moreno," and I was like, "I know." Like, it's already gone through my mind.
Well,
Trust
man,
me.
because he found his reach and he was just landing some bombs with combos. I was like, God, I'm talking like everyone in Buffalo, every time a punch landed, it was just
Those
erupting.
they were throwing them things for some
They
125ers.
were, they were.
So that was a great fight. I mean, that's so far got to be fight of the year. I
We got,
mean, maybe I have recency bias, but
we gotta
because I
think, we gotta think next for Moreno is Kai Kara France, right?
I mean, he just fought You said for Moreno, he just fought Kai Kara France right before he fought Figueiredo the 4th time. So no, probably not. They were
You
saying
think they
somebody.
rematch it?
What's his name? It's like Royal. That's the guy that will be fighting for the belt next if it's not Moreno. Let me see. I think it's Brandon. I think his name's Brandon.
Maybe they fight. Maybe him and Moreno fight to see.
Yeah, Brandon Royval is who they're saying
Okay.
will be.
Yeah, they were telling me about him. They were saying he's a killer.
I mean, he's got 10 first round finishes, 9 wins by submission,
Mmm.
4 wins by knockout. He's
Mmm.
a yeah. We'll see. I mean,
Killer.
I'd probably rather. I mean, I don't know. Do you want to keep seeing Moreno in trilogy?
God, I said I never want to watch him and figure. I never like. I mean, it's never gonna happen again. But God, I'm so glad that's over.
Yeah, it was getting kind of stale. I mean, they were
Yeah,
solid fights, but I was tired of seeing
the same people.
the same shit every time. And then yeah, so yeah, let's go ahead and let's move on to the main event. Alexander Volkanovski,
Yes, yes,
Yair
yes.
Rodriguez. I mean, somebody on TikTok said we were disrespecting the Mexican fighters by picking against, but
And
I
there
mean,
was
we
a
were right.
reason.
We were right. So are we disrespectful? I mean, yeah. Sorry, I've kind of lost my voice, guys. But um,
Yeah, that
what are
whole
your
sentence just cut out.
yeah? What are your thoughts on that main event, though?
So on the main event, I mean, obviously we both had Volk. We both from the jump have known Volk is a insane talent. Insane talent. Um Yair's an insane talent too. I'm not disrespecting him at all. He's gonna be that number. He's gonna be the number 2 guy in that division for a long time until Volk, gives it up. Volk was just at one point throwing like when he threw a 3-piece combo and ended it with a takedown, and I was just like it was like he was fighting a lower 15 guy, and that like I said, Yair is a killer. I
And he
mean,
was having success in that
yeah,
round.
there's just levels to this, bro, and like
Mhm.
Volk is like I said. I mean, John is number 1 pound for pound. Volk, I think, should be tied number 1. I mean, Volk is just insane, man. He's insane. Um, and I think John Volk, and then after that, it's like Islam. But after that, I think it's just like 1, 2, and 3 is locked. Like they're
Yeah.
insane freak talent. Yair, again, no disrespect, you're a killer. I had someone after the fight say, which this was the most insane thing I've ever heard, that they think Ilya Taporia could beat Volk. And I'm like, why would you even assume that? I don't even think Ilya is better than Yair.
You
So
know, the thing is like every time there's a new up and coming contender, they're gonna say, "Oh, like this is the guy that'll take the belt." So and it's mixed martial arts. It always happens, right?
yeah.
I personally didn't think Max Holloway was gonna lose the vote first time. Um, but yeah, there's always gonna be somebody up and coming for the belt, and I don't know. That's not the guy.
What is scary is like I think I think watching Volk's last 3 to 4 fights, you can literally watch what he's got better at. Like, uh, what was his name? The jujitsu guy,
Ortega?
kind of killing him on the ground. What he go and do? He got better on the ground and almost, and he killed Islam on the ground.
He beat Islam at his
Yeah,
best game, which is funny because Islam, in my opinion, beat Volk at his best game, which was striking.
yeah. Then what did he go? What he go and do? He got better at, I believe, striking, and he put on a clinic against one of the best strikers in the division and wrestled him. He did everything, and I just thought it was insane. Like he's an insane talent. Like you said, I even had someone tell me the same thing you said. The 145 GSP.
Yeah, yeah. I
Like I
mean,
literally, and I like, dude just came up to me. He was like, "I think he's the GSP of 145." I'm like, "That's actually insane," because my friend just texted me that.
he's
um,
so good everywhere. I mean,
yeah,
and the fights are only exciting because I just feel like he's more of a finisher than GSP
Yeah.
was. Now I might be
Yeah.
tripping, but I don't know. I just Volkanovski's fights are very entertaining. Doesn't matter who he's headlining against. I'm gonna watch Korean
Definitely.
Zombie. I mean, he killed Korean Zombie. So, I think we got just one last little brief thing we're gonna hit. You want to hit?
One more time.
You want to hit UFC 291?
Yeah, we can go ahead and hit UFC 291. I do want to shout out real quick Hall of Fame, just the people that
Oh
just went in the
yeah,
Hall of Fame. We got Anderson Silva finally in there, amazing fighter. Jose Aldo, Jens Pulver. Um,
the Pioneer,
yes, we have oh my gosh, I'm forgetting someone. Um,
Cowboy.
Cowboy Cerrone, most finishes in UFC history. Most finishes or most knockouts? I think it might be most knockouts in UFC history.
He's most finishes
Most
because he was
finishes?
a
Okay.
submission
Yeah, yeah,
guy.
yeah, yeah. Most finishes UFC history. Four amazing guys, amazing careers. My favorite fight got inducted to the Hall of Fame, Lawler and McDonald. If y'all haven't seen that, I definitely suggest going and watching it. Robbie Lawler, Rory McDonald too. That's what it was. Yeah, go watch that. Four amazing guys, four amazing careers. Hats off to them. Now let's get into UFC 291 real quick. We're gonna go ahead and start. We're gonna talk about, the main card real quick. We'll just get into that. We won't, harp on everything too much. We have Justin Gaethje, Dustin Poirier. Right now, I'm leaning Dustin. I think he's just the
Insane fight.
better, insane potential. I mean, I just think Dustin's more well-rounded guy. We'll see. Do you agree with that?
Yeah, I mean, yeah. I mean, I was thinking about this the other day. Honestly, the fight is 50-50 in my opinion. It could go either way just because they're both, you know what they're going to do. They're going to roll
Yeah.
there. They're going to bang this shit out. And
Mm-hmm.
who's got the better chin, you know? I think Dustin does. So we'll see, though. I mean,
I think Dustin is a smart enough fighter to know if he's taking that damage, let's get it to the ground for a little bit. Um, we have Jan and Alex Pereira. Now, I got called crazy when I said this. I think Alex runs through Jan. I
I
mean,
think he's going to knock him out as well. I'm a huge Pereira fan,
yeah.
honestly. I mean, this dude is insane. I mean, I hope him and Teixeira have been working on his ground game and submissions and all that,
Mm-hmm.
so that he's prepared anywhere the fight goes. But we might not even see it hit the ground. He might just sleep him real quick. But also, no disrespect to Jan, because Jan's fought and beat too. It's gonna be a good fight. I think Pereira's gonna win though.
It
I'm gonna give
is.
him
It
the
is.
nod.
We're gonna go Tony Ferguson, Bobby Green. Not gonna harp on this too long. We're probably gonna have to do a little bit more research on this, but I'm obviously, going Tony Ferguson. He's been in a slump, but he's been in a slump against literal
Killers.
demons.
Yep, I agree with you on that.
There's a lot of guys on this card I'm actually gonna have to go through and do some research on. Like, I'm not gonna call Paulo Costa and Ikram just yet. Steven Thompson, Michael Pereira, I'm not gonna call that yet. Um, Derek Lewis, Marcos, you know, a lot of guys on here I'm gonna have to go through. I'm super excited for Michael Chiesa and Kevin Holland.
Holland.
Y'all know I'm a big Michael Chiesa fan, so we'll see. Yeah, bunch of good fights on this card. Some of them, we're gonna get more in depth on 291 the closer it gets. Fights are not gonna happen. People are gonna pull out for injury. We're gonna get new matchups. I hope not, because this is an amazing card. But yeah, we're gonna hit some more of those key fights next time. I mean, unless there's some key fights you've already looked into that you want
I
to hit.
mean, honestly, the only fights that I mean, obviously the whole card is insane, but
Yeah.
I mean the main event, the co-main event, Pereira and Jan,
Mm-hmm.
uh, Chiesa Holland. I mean that's probably the third most fight I'm looking forward to out of that card.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, I mean I'm excited to see Ferguson back in action. I'm hoping he can. I hope he can turn back time and we can see that old Tony.
It'd be
Uh,
nice. I think this is probably, I wouldn't be surprised if he took those gloves off at the end of this.
yeah, I agree. It's been a long career. I mean, yeah.
Good
What are
career.
your thoughts on shifting focus a little bit? What are your thoughts on John Jones and Stipe? Huh? That's officially been announced for Saturday, November 11th at Madison. Will be headlining UFC 295.
So, not all of y'all know this. I'm a bartender, so I talk a lot of sports. I brought that up. No, I heard some guys talking to the bar about it, and they were like, "I really think Stipe can beat John," and I was like, "You're lying to yourself, and you don't believe that because there is, in my mind, 0.0000% chance that happens. He's not knocking him out. Stipe is not beating him on the ground. It honestly, it's going to end the exact same way Cyril Gahn did.
Maybe a little bit longer though.
I don't think so. Maybe he might. I just don't think so. I
I think it'll
think
go
the
longer than a
better
minute.
fight. I mean, this is for legacy. I think the more entertaining fight would have been a big Russian dude. Um,
I mean, I think this is John's last fight
Unfortunately, because
unless Francis comes back.
I think okay. Well, here's my little thought on this. I think John is going to sign a one fight PFL deal.
That'd be awesome.
I think that's going to happen. Y'all heard it here first, by the way. Yeah, I rather have watched him fight Sergey Pavlovich, but this is for legacy, and John is going to finish the undisputed. And this hurts me to say, guys, because I was a big John hater, but he's going to finish the undisputed, unanimous greatest of all time.
Heavyweight.
Oh no, I think everywhere. That's the number one.
Who?
Jonathan Jones.
Oh, I thought you said Stipe.
No,
Yeah.
no,
Well,
no, no,
we'll
no.
see. I'm excited.
Jonathan Jones.
We got some great fights
We do.
still ahead of us this year.
Absolutely.
So, yep.
Well, guys, that is the end of episode 2, which I don't ever think I even changed the title to episode 2 because I think I forgot how to do it. It'll be okay. Yeah, episode 2 of Any Given Sunday podcast in the books. I appreciate y'all stopping by. We went a little 2 hours. We were trying to keep it an hour and 30 to an hour, but it's okay because we love talking sports. We love interacting with y'all. We love y'all. Make sure you drop a follow. Make sure you go follow us on social medias. Our Twitter handle.
Everything is in our profile.
Yeah. Okay. Cool.
So if you go to our profile, you'll see all the links for TikTok, Twitter, and YouTube.
Drop follows on that. We will be, we do drop different content on all the platforms. We do drop recaps, and we will be posting this on YouTube. I appreciate all of y'all, and y'all have a great rest of your day. Anything else you'd like to say, Tyler?
Nope. You guys have a wonderful day. We appreciate you guys for coming to hang out with us, and we'll see you next week.
See y'all next week, 12 o'clock sharp.